Match officials emerge first. Ethan Ampadu leading Leeds United out for this first away fixture of the Championship season, after what has been a tricky few days for Leeds. So they'll be hoping to banish all the blues and get on the road home with 3 points in the bag. Always a difficult thing to do against West Bromwich Albion at the Hawthorns, and Leeds have struggled here at times in recent seasons, but we cast our mind back to the Premier League period. There was a whacking great 5-0 win here, which was the last time Leeds recorded a victory at the Hawthorns. Well, something similar today would do very nicely indeed, thank you. The players going through the pre-match rituals. The Leeds United fans are in fine voice in that away supporters section, and the scene is set for an important looking game, even this early in the Championship season.
Yes, it certainly is. I think after our draw against Portsmouth at home, first time out, certainly a little disappointing, and of course conceding those 3 goals. If you're going to win the title, if you're going to get promotion, you're going to get in the playoffs, well, defensively you need to be nice and sound. So I think that's the first place to start, making sure no individual errors, keep it nice and tight. But you're right, such an early stage of the season, this does seem an important fixture just to turn things around. Things certainly seem to be a little against us at the moment for lots of reasons, but most importantly, just out on the pitch, let's get a win and get us going in the right direction.
Carlos Corberan's image appears on the big screen here, and there are flags either side of the tunnel that say King Carlos on them. So the former Leeds United coach is clearly a popular figure around these parts. Took West Bromwich Albion into the playoffs, of course, with Leeds United at the end of last season, where they came up against Southampton, and that proved to be a bridge too far for them, like Leeds, in terms of promotion prospects. So these are 2 sides who would expect to be in the mix this season, surely. West Bromwich Albion have not had a stress-free summer themselves. They are finding it difficult to recruit. They've had restrictions on that basis, and so they have only been able to make thus far 2 loan signings. And they, like Leeds, will no doubt be looking to be busy in the market in the couple of weeks that remain of the transfer window. Mascots and captains in the centre circle. Kyle Bartley in there for West Bromwich Albion, former Leeds man, and very experienced central defender with hundreds of appearances to his name. And the corporate party leave the pitch with a couple of members of the corporate party giving the Leeds salute in the direction of the Leeds United players. So amongst that sponsorship group, clearly there is an away supporter presence, as there is probably everywhere in this stadium. Leeds fans popping up left, right and centre. So I stayed overnight in Birmingham, straight into reception in the hotel this morning. Leeds salute as I stepped out the lift. So Leeds fans in huge numbers here as the 2 sets of players line up on the edge of the centre circle. There'll be a minute's applause before the game starts for Craig Shakespeare and Kevin Campbell, 2 former servants of West Bromwich Albion, 2 popular figures at West Bromwich Albion. Both have passed away recently in very sad circumstances. The applause begins even as the words are still being spoken over the PA system. The Albion fans with a chorus of "The Lord's My Shepherd," a song they sing anyway. Extremely appropriate in those sad circumstances. The Leeds players go into the huddle. The West Bromwich Albion players come to the near side touchline to go through a little warm-up routine of their own. Fast feet move. And Ethan Ampadu it is who offers the words of encouragement to his teammates. All in yellow for the first time this season. The highly popular new away shirt that is in great evidence behind the goal that Meslier has gone to defend. So Leeds will be in front of the away fans in the first half and kicking towards them in the second half. Joseph standing over the ball. Sam Allison is our match referee. He awaits the signal from the floor manager down below. Stands next to the fourth official. Looks something close to a full house here at the Hawthorns. A few seats available that we can see on the far side, but pretty much filled up behind both goals. As the game is underway, Leeds United have the ball at the back with Joe Rodon. Pascal Struijk, his first couple of touches, rolls it back to Rodon. A lot of extra scrutiny perhaps on that defensive unit for Leeds United this lunchtime, given 6 against in 2 games.
Yes, and certainly it's important that they get an understanding pretty quickly. Of course, back end of the year, Pascal Struijk, certainly back in the last season, wasn't playing, and that understanding between Ampadu and Rodon was certainly growing nicely, so they need to get that same understanding, make sure they're nice and tight at the back.
Ball comes back to the halfway line and to Pascal Struijk, and he and Rodon exchange passes. And those are the Leeds fans you can hear in the background here at the Hawthorns. Struijk back to Rodon and Bogle. Happy just to keep possession in these opening seconds. Leeds with Rodon to Gruev, standing between the 2 central defenders.
That's been a feature, hasn't it, whether it's Gruev or Ampadu, where the 2 fullbacks really push on, 2 centre-halves split, and then the holding centre-half, whether it's Ampadu or Gruev, just drops back in.
The press was on, so Meslier went long with a clearance as the ball came back to him from Struijk. Bartley in his own half. Firpo challenges on the halfway line. Up in the air it goes. Mowatt, and the former Leeds man, with the ball forward. Gnonto wins the ball for Leeds United. Then he's tackled, but it comes to Ampadu. Works it away from Mowatt and gives it to Rodon. Now Bogle down Leeds right. Pushes it up the touchline for Piroe. Piroe runs the ball out, and that will be a West Brom throw-in.
Bogle just had a chance there to put James in as well. James had just set off, and I like that from Dan James. Just put the defender on the back foot straight away, looking to run behind, and with his speed he's all going to cause a defender a problem. Bogle didn't quite see the run.
Ball played long out from the back to the right back for West Bromwich Albion, Furlong. Familiar figure in West Bromwich Albion colours. Son of Paul, Darnell Furlong. 1-0 when these two met last, and that was here as well. Diangana got the only goal of the game for West Brom. Rodon holds the ball up, gives it to Pascal Struijk. Struijk back to Rodon, and then Rodon down the channel for Piroe. Piroe, well, he tried to put it forward for Dan James, but as quick as he is, there's no way he's getting to that one.
Usain Bolt wouldn't have got to that one, but it's the right idea, isn't it? It's to try and get the ball into Piroe's feet, and then when he gets it, who's that willing runner? Normally it will be James. That was just way too hard with the pass.
Furlong works the ball around Gnonto, plays it forward to Maja, who scored a hat-trick for West Brom in their opening day win at QPR. Maja only got 4 last season, and he's notched 3 already in his first appearance in the league this season.
I'm thinking he's going to top last season's record. What do you think?
He's well on course, definitely.
Heck of a start.
He'll be disappointed if he doesn't. Piroe plays a ball, looking to try and maybe get Gruev through the middle. It's cleared away. Rodon comes in on the far side for Leeds and nods the ball into touch for a West Brom throw-in.
All a little bit scrappy. We're keeping the ball well enough, but we can't quite find that final pass into their danger area. At the moment, West Brom just sitting there, not offering too much going forward themselves.
Bartley on the ball. And then Ajayi. Those two should have a really good understanding by now. They've been at the club a number of years, the pair of them. Bartley is back on the ball again now. Just goes long over the top. The chase is on. Bogle sprinting away with Tom Fellows. Bogle gets there first and holds Fellows away from the ball, and he wins a free kick in the process as well. So good defensive work from Jaden Bogle. Fellows, who's a tricky young winger, who's had a good season last season. High hopes for him amongst the West Bromwich Albion support. And Bogle will have to be on his mettle potentially throughout the course of this afternoon.
He will. He looked certainly favourite to get to that long ball, but it was the West Brom player that eventually got there. And again, it's just a ball over the top, pushing Bogle back. We're going to certainly vary our play, doing exactly the same.
Ball is out of play for a Leeds throw in, just inside the West Bromwich Albion half. And Bogle is there to take it for Leeds. Throws it back into his own half to Joe Rodon. Pascal Struijk. Struijk across the back to Firpo. And then Firpo forward to Joseph. His touch is heavy and he goes to ground anyway. So the ball is played back from Molumby to goalkeeper Palmer.
Rightly so, Joseph puts his hands up and apologises for that, because actually it was a really good ball from Firpo into him. He got the right side of his man. Joseph had plenty of time to get it under control. Just a little heavy touch.
Mowatt from the back for West Brom. Out wide to the left side, gets the return pass. Back on the ball again. And then a ball over the top, and the chase is on through the middle. And the opportunity is there potentially for West Bromwich Albion to build an attack with Grant. Goes to Fellows wide, forced to out of the Leeds penalty area there. The cover got back in time. Again, it was just a long straight ball that almost opened Leeds up. Gnonto with a sliding intervention. Gets there ahead of Furlong. Knocks the ball out for an Albion throw.
It's a second long ball, isn't it? Just straight over the top. You're right, Carlin Grant timed his run to perfection, and the ball was spot on. Seemed to get away from our two defenders, but Pascal Struijk got back extremely quickly just to take him away from goal.
Well, what we're going to see now is a long throw. Furlong is going to deliver it. He's taken the maximum run up he can on the near side down below us here. And players are lined up on the edge of the 6-yard box in the Leeds penalty area. Furlong with a little thumbs up before he throws it into the box. Good distance and height on that one. And when it comes off the head, it's a Leeds head as it goes behind for a first corner kick of the game.
West Brom will be delighted with that, because you can just look at the size of the team out there, and set pieces are clearly key. So whether it's a long throw, it's a free kick into the box, or as it is now, a corner kick, West Brom will be attacking this with plenty of aerial power.
Mowatt will take it. Movement in the penalty area. As it's swung in, heads away from Firpo. Good strong header away from the Leeds man. And it rolls over the near side touchline. Swift lets it go, knowing that it's his side's ball. And then waits for Furlong to arrive, and he will take the throw in. Just inside, well, 15 yards inside the Leeds half. Daniel Farker at the edge of the technical area, as is Carlos Corbrand, crouching down in distinctive fashion on the edge of his. Long ball, launched forward again from the back by Ajayi. That's an easy pick up for Ilham Meslier. Meslier all in pink today. Runs the ball up to the edge of the penalty area, drops it to the ground, and then it's played square to Joe Rodon. Rodon a little further forward to Gruev. Ampadu, back it goes to Rodon. Wide to the right to Bogle. Miscontrol, but Gruev picks it up. Just puts it over the top. Chases on for Joseph. Takes it down. Nods it in, trying to get it into the path of Dan James. Couldn't Had enough power on the header to do that. West Brom try and get it away. Ampadu intercepts in midfield. Gruev comes in to try and win the ball. Gets 2 touches as it's bobbling around all over the place. And eventually it's played into space for Furlong to deliver another long ball. Struijk can let that one go. Just drifts across his body, knowing it's going straight into the hands of Meslier.
It's already a feature, isn't it? This long ball, whether it's diagonal or straight through the middle. That's 4 or 5 now that they've played to try and get over the top of our defence.
10th minute. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 0. Not a chance at either end so far. James loses the ball. Mowatt takes it off him. It goes back into the left back position. Heggem, new signing involved there. Recent signing. And it's Mowatt on the ball for West Bromwich Albion to the halfway line. And Swift just elects to knock it back into the path of Kyle Bartley. Bartley goes across the back to Ajayi. He's forced back by Joseph to the goalkeeper Palmer. Bartley drops in just to help the keeper out with an easy short ball. And then Mowatt in the midfield comes back to Ajayi. And then moved forward a distance by Mowatt before he releases to Swift, who comes back to Kyle Bartley. And then Bartley again looks for that long ball forward. Grant is underneath it. Beyond him is Furlong on the edge of the penalty area. Grant in the penalty area. Furlong on the edge of the box again. Goes to Swift on the edge of the D. Swift has a shot blocked by Ampadu. Still there for West Brom and Swift. A little further away from goal. Leeds get bodies around him and he gives the ball away to Gnonto. Counter-attack potential for Leeds here. Piroe rides the first challenge. James is on the chase and the ball is just not quite where Dan James wants it, but then the back pass from Heggem, who got in ahead of him, is not good either, and Leeds end up with a corner kick.
Oh, it's so unfortunate because in a foot race we know Dan James is going to win it, but Piroe didn't quite play the right ball. It's the first time that Piroe managed to get himself into the game as well. Really important today for him that he does have a big influence on this outcome, but there allowed the ball to run across his body, and the ball that he played just wasn't quite the right one for Dan James to get there. Defender puts it out for a corner kick hurriedly, but that was a good chance on the counter for us.
So Gruev goes across to take Leeds' first corner kick of the afternoon. The central defenders are both in the penalty area. Piroe in there as well. It's whipped in near post. Firpo with a header. Gets his head a little underneath it. He was moving away from goal. And it goes over the crossbar.
Just goes, you're right, towards and past that near post, and rather than try and angle it onto the goal, just flick it on, let it hit the top of your head and carry on. Unfortunately, he goes for goal and going over, unfortunately. Come on, Grant, in again.
He's got him behind and he's taking on Firpo. He's in the penalty area. Cross into the middle is blocked by Firpo. It allows Ampadu to make a clearance, but Grant ends up with the ball. Now he's offside. Suspicion he was, or should have been really, caught offside the first time, but the fact he stayed on just probably prompts a little discussion amongst those in that Leeds back line.
It's too easy. It's way too easy. The ball is just a straight long ball, and they've tried it 4 or 5 times and got in like half of them. Got to go with your runners. Got to make sure that you either hold the line or you drop and go with your man. Just needs some communication along the back line, but I think the other time Furlong was getting forward as well that got in. Now he's a right back. That means Gnonto, you have to go with him. You can't just allow these runners to go past you.
Joseph trying to control. The ball goes high in the air off his boot and is cleared back to Bartley. Ajayi goes back to the goalkeeper. Sun is now shining here at the Hawthorns. It was a very warm start to the day and then it clouded over pre-match, but sun is back out again now. Mowatt on the ball, edge of the centre circle, just flicks it to Swift, gives it back to Bartley, and then Swift again, halfway line for the home team. Mowatt, Rodon steps into good effect, and Ampadu goes for goal from a long way out. goodness me, was it inside his own half, Ethan Ampadu there, where he saw the keeper off his line and he went for it, and Alex Palmer was a relieved man to make sure that the ball was going to sail the right side, as he looks at it, of the post rather than the wrong side.
Quite simply, Palmer was struggling, wasn't he? And he was trying to scamper back. Thankfully for him it was going wide, but 5 yards inside our own half. Ampadu with an excellent piece of play, vision and almost execution.
Mowatt to Grant, down the line it goes to Molumby, tries to clip it into the penalty area. Struijk nods it down, and then Rodon completes a clearance into touch, and so West Bromwich Albion have a throw in down by the corner flag.
Too many runners for West Brom are getting the wrong side of our men. We've got to make sure we're on the defensive side. There's two players of theirs we're getting chased back from two of ours, but it needs to be the other way around.
Furlong again is going to deliver the long throw into the Leeds penalty area. Tactic we're seeing used increasingly in the modern game. Furlong again, long throw. In it goes, drops in the penalty area, cleared away by Joseph, but it'll come back for Furlong to play this one in with his feet. Crosses deep to the far side of the area. Bogle underneath it. Looks to the referee to say he was pulled down. Fellows picks it up, the game goes on. Fellows looking towards the penalty area, then looks back where support awaits in the shape of Molumby.
Good strong defending, wasn't it, from Bogle at the far post. Just making sure he got hold of his man and gets a good clearing header away.
Leeds are able to step up as Palmer is in possession. A long way out the penalty area, the West Brom keeper. Obviously feels safe enough as West Brom have possession with Bartley in front of him. And we've had over 15 minutes of this game, and we still look at a goalless scoreline.
And I think we'll be quite pleased with that, in that Meslier hasn't had anything really to do. So we want to try and impose ourselves on the game a little bit more and get further up the pitch, but just one counter attack we had, which was a really good chance. Unfortunately, we didn't take advantage.
Ajayi is on the ball for West Brom, and he goes back to keeper Palmer on the edge of the D. Now Bartley. Short ball from Mowatt to Swift, and then out to the left side, Heggem, and back to Swift again, and then the run through the middle is Maja's. Takes it down on his chest, midway inside the Leeds half. Little back heel to Swift and support. And then it's worked back towards Mowatt and further back towards Bartley on the halfway line. Ajayi, he goes with the ball over the top, out to Furlong down the right hand side, takes it down really well, makes to get the cross into the box. Firpo blocks it, but it goes behind for a West Brom corner.
Oh, West Brom are playing that long ball really well, and yet again it's down this left hand side. Furlong is the one that is making a wide run on the right, and Carlin Grant drifts away from either Firpo or the centre half, and the space is there for him to run into, using it well. Another corner kick.
Mowatt will take it. Alex Mowatt raises two hands as the referee delays proceedings a little. Now Mowatt steps back to deliver. Whipped across the penalty area, headed away by Dan James at the back of the 6-yard box, and then a free kick is awarded in Leeds' favour. And so players in yellow can jog up towards the halfway line. Job done.
It was good delivery from Alex Mowatt. I just saw Rodon jump up and then somehow go underneath the ball, so I can only assume he was just nudged from Bartley from behind.
Meslier to take the free kick for Leeds. A few yards outside the 6-yard box. Square to Struijk. Out to Firpo, near side. Firpo got away with that one. Short for Gruev, but Gruev reacted well. And then Joseph did really well. Turned away from Bartley. Looked like he was dragged down by Bartley, and the referee gave nothing, but Leeds win the ball back with Dan James, and now they have it with Piroe. Piroe will shoot from outside the box, and he had runners to his left, James and Joseph, and Gnonto further wide, and surely any one of those was a better option than he took.
Well, certainly from trying to shoot from 26, 27 yards out when there were, as you say, options in front of him. But that was a foul all day long on Mateo Joseph. Did the referee see that as an advantage? No, because they had the ball but we won it back. So another half a chance. Just we don't punish the opposition.
West Brom come with Grant. Furlong back into Ajayi. Ajayi to Mowatt. Mowatt left side. Plays the ball to Heggem. Back it goes to Mowatt on the halfway line. Short ball, square ball to Swift. Mowatt once more. 20 minutes gone. 0-0. Sun shining at the Hawthorns. Ball over the top for Maja to chase. Struijk is with him. Back heel from Maja, but there's nobody in a striped shirt behind. Oh, difficult attempt to play a pass in then from Bogle. He went across his own penalty area, and luckily swift reaction got that one away from danger, but that was a really poor pass from Bogle.
What was he thinking? What was he thinking? Because his teammates were thinking, well, obviously play it forward, play it up the line, play it anywhere but back into the danger area, and Rodon fortunately got there and just hoofed it anywhere.
Almost put a perfect pass into the path of a West Brom player waiting the penalty area. Bartley in the centre circle. Maja to Ajayi. Steps forward. Joseph comes with him, so he checks back. Molumby. And then Bartley. Long ball swung out towards the far touchline to good effect. Well taken down by Fellows. Fellows against Bogle. Bogle's just left a foot in on him there, and that's a free kick to West Bromwich Albion. Jayden Bogle, not sure he made much contact with his man, but enough for the referee to not only award a free kick, but also, I think, to produce a card. Yeah, yellow card.
I'm pretty sure he made no contact with the ball. Unfortunately, it's one of those that he's sending the winger down the line, and he had half a yard kind of head start, but the speed of his opponent is just a bit too much. He's gone for the challenge, and the ball was just knocked past him, and he's continued and collected the man. So I'm not sure how much of a contact there was, but certainly didn't get the ball.
Really tricky free kick that Leeds have to defend here. It's just a couple of yards outside the penalty area. It's in from the byline by 4 or 5 yards, so there's the potential to either whip it towards the far post or just to put it up in the air, or even put it back out to the edge of the area. There are options available to West Bromwich Albion. Swift is the man who will take the free kick for them. There was a two-man wall in front of the ball. Now there's a one-man wall. James has come out of it. It's curled in towards the back post. Well, it's gone over Meslier. Rodon was waiting, defending, and then it hit Bartley, and it came off Bartley and went behind for a goal kick.
Well, we get away with it, but I think Meslier actually ends up getting a little touch on it, which takes it away from Rodon's head, who could have just headed away. And there's no doubt that Bartley didn't expect that little touch and didn't see that one coming, thankfully.
Meslier almost caught in possession, trying to clear the ball out the box there. Dallied a moment too long. Grant was in on him quickly. Leeds just rocking a little defensively at the moment, and it's largely of their own making. Ball over the top for James to get after. Heggem there ahead of him, gives it back to the goalkeeper. Poor ball from the keeper, straight to touch for a Leeds throw in.
James actually went for the one over the top, then checked back to try and help out Ampadu, but Ampadu probably the right thing in that just put it in behind the defence, give them the problem, because we've certainly been giving the ball away, haven't we, in our own third, trying to play out from the back, and at the moment it's not quite working so well.
So Bogle with the throw in for Leeds. Down the line it goes to Joseph, loses possession to Swift. Ampadu stretches a leg out, goes beyond him, but Rodon's waiting behind. Goes all the way back to Meslier. Goes all the way back to Meslier from one penalty area to the other. Rodon into Piroe. Back he comes to Ampadu. And then to Struijk. And then ball is wide. It's gone beyond. Gnonto has not had a touch, has he, for 15 minutes here, Gnonto, or more.
That's actually better play, because at least we got it from the back into Piroe, we laid it back off, and then we're quickly trying to switch play. And the ball from Struijk was a good one. It's only a yard over hit, but You're right, unfortunately Gnonto still doesn't get a touch and still doesn't get involved where he wants to. That's in an attacking sense.
And where Leeds need him to get involved as well. Leeds have not just not had the opportunities around the West Bromwich Albion penalty area so far as we move ever deeper into this game. 25th minute. Struijk now Gnonto on the chest, but it drops for Mowatt. Halfway line, Swift goes wide to Fellows. Leeds getting back because West Brom are moving forward with Fellows on the ball. Comes back into the midfield to Mowatt. Then it goes wide to Heggem. Back to Mowatt again. Mowatt just lets it run off to Swift. Exchange passes once more. Home side happy just to hold possession with Ajayi. Gives it straight to Gnonto. Poor ball that from Ajayi. What can Gnonto do this from the halfway line? James, good ball from Gnonto into Dan James down the right. Thought he might have set off there, instead of which he's checked back. And seems like an opportunity has been squandered there to get forward quickly.
Well, it's like he's had the advantage as well, and with his speed he just goes further away instead. Just stopped, checked, maybe thought better of it just to retain possession and let his teammates clear their heads a little bit, but I thought he could have certainly gone forward.
Firpo to Struijk, and Struijk back to Meslier. And Meslier knows that Grant's coming, so he gets rid of it with a long clearance. Fellows chests it down from Mowatt. Mowatt across the middle, dangerous ball, but it works out well for him. It comes for Ajayi. Plays it short to Bartley. Ajayi once more. Mowatt in the centre circle.
See Daniel Farke jumping up and down there. Once the ball gets played from wide to the central area in that centre circle, he wants his boys to be nice and tight, but there wasn't anyone closing down really quickly enough for him.
Fellows in from the touchline. Back to Swift. Now Ajayi plays the ball down the right for Furlong. Firpo read it, got across him, and Firpo's touch is the last touch. And that means it's a corner kick to West Brom.
Well, Furlong down his right-hand side really is getting forward well. So what you need is some communication and certainly try and limit the balls that are coming towards him. Now another corner kick. Mo, the last one was a very good delivery in and around the 6-yard box, and once again we're going to have to defend this well.
Mowatt ready to spot it up for West Brom. And then a couple of steps back before he puts this one into the Leeds penalty area. Near post, headed away by Joseph. Well, comes out for Swift, gives it back to Mowatt. Mowatt takes on and beats Joseph, puts it up to the far post, heads up and over. Bartley drops for Maja, just outside the Leeds box. Maja crosses the ball in, good looking ball in as well from Maja. Grant didn't gamble and go for it, and Leeds have reason to be grateful for that. It went beyond him and out for a throw in.
Well, it was an excellent ball. If you think he's going to take a bit of time, Maja instead shifts it in the same movement, whips in a delicious really left foot cross that I'm sure he would have liked to have got the end of it himself, but fortunately there's no runner from West Brom on that far stick.
Leeds are slowing things down a little here. Firpo leaving the ball with the throw in from Struijk. Convention would have it that the fullback takes the throw. Struijk instead launches it down the touchline, maybe to get more distance. Comes off Joseph's shoulder, so it's a West Brom throw in. And they advance and then retreat. The ball goes back into their own half.
This part of the game now, certainly Mowatt and Swift kind of taking a bit more control, aren't they? Fellows on that left wing as well is causing one or two problems. Furlong, the right back as well. So they're starting just to dominate more of the ball, West Brom.
Yeah, Ampadu and Gruev not seeing a lot of it, are they, in there?
A lot of chasing, but
not much
too
possession.
Much, yeah, and keeping the ball and driving us forward.
Bartley just walks the ball forward and then goes square to Ajayi. Mowatt sitting in the midfield, waits and gets the ball. Furlong, neat little flick. Struijk comes in all guns blazing against Molumby, and he wins the throw-in for Leeds as well. So Struijk's challenge was a brave one.
Yeah, he's hurt himself in the process.
Stretching out his right leg there, rubbing his knee somewhat ruefully. It was a proper block tackle, that one.
It really was firm, but hopefully he hasn't done any sort of damage. He's running backwards, he seems okay, but still feeling it, still trying to get it to feel like normal.
Firpo will take the throw in. Daniel Farke waving his fingers around.
Just get them some movement, crossover from throw-ins. That's got to be a foul.
Joseph brought down. This will be a card for Swift. So Joseph gets this one anyway. And Leeds have a free kick just outside the centre circle. Joseph had moved away from Swift at pace there, and Swift just hooked him, brought him down.
Gets his body in the way nicely, doesn't he? And it was a poor challenge from Swift.
Short free kick to Struijk. Leeds opt for possession rather than penetration. And then it comes all the way back to Meslier.
Done this a lot, haven't we, when we've been in good areas of the pitch and we've retreated, gone back, and okay, I understand not to put the ball at risk, but when you've got good possession there, surely there has to be a ball and some movement further up the pitch to play.
Gnonto in the semicircle in his own half. Now Rodon square to him, gives it back to Gnonto on the halfway line. Gnonto's moved from left to right to get involved. Ball over the top is for Bogle to get after. Can Bogle get there? Tries the first time half-volleyed cross. It's a good idea because it means that it has to be cleared behind, and it is, and it's a Leeds corner.
Nice from Gnonto, to be fair. He hasn't been getting much of the ball, has he, on the left? So he says, right, I want to get involved here. Goes all the way across. Does well, a couple of touches, sees the run from Bogle. Puts in a very good ball over the top, and the cross was blocked out for a corner kick. And we now cause some problems to West Brom with this.
Gruev it is who's going to take it for Leeds United over on the far side. He raises an arm, curls the ball in. Palmer punches clear. James will collect on the edge of the box, gives it back to Gruev, delivers the ball in. Good shape on that one, but it was headed away. And it
Molumby, yeah,
all the way up to the halfway line.
At that near post, Molumby actually defends really well. It was a whipped in positive cross back in.
Ball goes back from Bogle to Meslier.
Our fans are getting rather frustrated, shall we say, because once again, just in that instance, Bogle, you have an option of turning and looking up the pitch or just going back to your keeper, and of course he picked the latter. We've done enough of that, I think, so far.
The roar goes up, attack, attack, attack. Well, Leeds are actually doing that, and whether that's a coincidence or not, I don't know, but they're going down the right side with Bogle. Bogle gives it to James. Dan James. Oh, he's miscontrolled it, and he's given it away. And a moment of promise for Leeds evaporates, and West Brom end up with a throw-in.
Well, he just caught in two minds, wasn't he? And unfortunately the ball just drifted away from his control and straight to a West Brom player.
Midway inside their own half, 13 minutes to go before the interval here. 0-0 at the Hawthorns. Neither goalkeeper has had a save to make yet. West Brom will feel they've had a bit more of the game. Oh, that was a strong challenge on James. Fair one apparently as he flew up in the air, and Maja is now in possession in the Leeds half. Back it goes to Swift. James is on his shoulder quickly, as is Gruev. And then Heggem. Leeds almost win it back, and they do win it back, and then they lose it, and then bodies are tumbling, and then ultimately how the referee sees a free kick in the midst of all of that, I'm not entirely sure, but he gives it in favour of West Brom and Maja. Well,
he just falls to the ground, you're right. There was boots flying, ball pinging around, nothing really doing, but West Brom get the nod.
Furlong back into Ajayi. And then Bartley sees the potential for a wide ball to Furlong, as Firpo's tucked in the middle at the moment with Grant, so look at the space for Furlong here. Furlong is picked out now, and he puts the ball in the area. Ampadu clears away almost from the penalty spot. It's such an obvious pass, that one. Firpo involved in the middle. Furlong had all sorts of space in front of him out on the right.
Firpo and Gnonto have to start talking to each other. If your fullback in Furlong starts to run up to right wing, well, Gnonto either has to pass him on or go with him. but Firpo's actually got Grant as well, so it's 2 against 1, and Gnonto's just looking at the ball. They've got to communicate and sort it out.
The right back's eternal conundrum, isn't it? Pulling the midfielder in there to help out. Furlong will launch another throw in the box. Heads up from Struijk to get it clear. Gnonto picks it up well. 2 in front of him. Be happy with the throw in. Skids on the running track around the edge of the pitch. And Gnonto, little fist bump with Furlong there. Leeds with Firpo, presumably, will take the throw in, although Struijk is in proximity. Firpo down the line for Piroe. Over the shoulder to Joseph. Trying to help it, nudge it into the path of Piroe, but unsuccessfully. And West Brom have it with Mowatt. Goes long over the top. Bogle chasing back. Meslier comes out the penalty area. Came out quite quickly there. Got just ahead of Fellows, but sliced the ball a little into touch for a throw in.
Well, I suppose better to be safe than sorry, but he just actually stopped at the edge. He could have just collected that, but as it is, it's another throw in. They don't take it long this time.
Heggem goes back to Mowatt, and then back in to Bartley. West Brom in the Leeds half still, now with Ajayi. Oh, ball almost breaks through for Grant. Struijk's got to defend it. And Grant is in front of him. Struijk trying to work it round him. Gives it to Firpo. He's happy just to scoop it forward to a position further away from that Leeds penalty area where Mowatt collects, and he delivers it back. And Struijk heads it up in the air and comes back in the direction of Firpo's head, and then Ethan Ampadu. And high quality football this isn't. Piroe though trying to do well. He's trying to get James away down the Leeds right, but he's intercepted, and now Swift comes and he plays it out to his left to Fellows. Fellows attacking the edge of the penalty area. Cross comes off Bogle. Now it's picked up by Piroe. It's got a long way to go, but there is a counter-attack potential as Rodon carries the ball forward for Leeds now, and he tries to play the ball into the diagonal run of Joseph there, but it's cut out by Bartley, and Leeds get a throw in on the halfway line.
Just for a moment it started to open up when we gave it away, then West Brom gave it away. There was certainly space for us to go and attack, but at least we retained possession.
Ampadu, centre circle, sees the runner James. James is not quite going to get there. It bounces high in front of him, and that high bounce takes it out for a goal kick.
Another couple of yards too long with that pass. James not quite on the end. Haven't got our forward play going, have we, at all, really? Haven't got Gnonto high up on the left-hand side. Piroe hasn't really got in the game. Not getting any quality ball to Matteo Joseph, and when it has gone up to him just once or twice, could have done a little better. James, plenty of effort as always, but the quality pass to him hasn't quite been right.
Gnonto wins a good header against Furlong there.
Good defending.
And gets a whack for his troubles, and then also sees the throw-in awarded to West Brom as well. Picks himself up, shakes himself down, and the throw-in will be Furlong.
Referee just having a word with Firpo, because I think Firpo's chipping away into the referee's ear about something or other.
Grant comes in short, but the ball goes back to Ajayi, and he just pushes it back into the area to goalkeeper Palmer, and then it's out for Bartley. A little bit of a hush descends over the Hawthorns. You can hear the players calling to each other out there. Bartley on the ball, then he goes for the long one again, the diagonal. Furlong
this is just getting silly now, because it's so obvious, so open, and we're doing nothing about it. That's what I don't understand. Someone out there has to get a grip of this, because it's just a long ball, isn't it, over it to the right hand side, and there's always Furlong and Grant against one. That's Firpo.
Heggem defends against James at the other end, both sides trying the long ball out of defence. Firpo, this is a classic example again where Furlong is played in. Gnonto is belatedly coming back in front of him, and then Grant has it and gives it to Furlong. Furlong into the midfield, and now Molumby stretches and gets Grant down the right side of the box. He plays the cross to the far side. It's headed away by Bogle. Piroe loses possession. His touch was heavy. Mowatt takes it off him, plays it back into Grant down the right. Grant back to Mowatt again. Into the middle, Molumby and then helped on to Heggem, and then further wide left to Fellows. Fellows ball at his feet, comes in field. Short pass to Swift, back out to Heggem. And the Dane goes back then to Bartley. Back to Heggem again, now Fellows turns away from Bogle. Bogle back in front of him. Swift is given the pass, Heggem rather is given the ball. Now Bartley, and now Ajayi. All the West Brom men up in the Leeds half as Ajayi comes ever further forward, forced out wide by Joseph, gets his cross in. Meslier underneath it, catches confidently. Ajayi, the central defender, was the man delivering the cross in from the right side touchline there.
Well, Joseph went with him as well and tried the block, but somehow it still wriggled through. And he gets an excellent crossing.
Meslier still holding the ball in the penalty area. Drops it and then clears it. James ain't winning that one against Heggem, but Gruev's underneath it. Oof. Collision then between Firpo and Molumby as both went for the ball. The free kick goes the way of West Bromwich Albion, and I'm not sure how the referee differentiates between the two players challenged there.
I think that's difficult, isn't it? Both players are making an attempt to go for the ball. The thing is, it did bounce really high, but I thought both legs were pretty high.
I think Firpo could be in trouble here, as he's back on his feet, and Sam Allison is in conversation with the two captains, so maybe he's reading the riot act to them. And now there's a conversation going on between the Leeds players and the West Brom physio team.
Yeah,
interesting. Richie Rawlings is one of the two men administering medical aid to the stricken Molumby there. Now Firpo is being called to the referee. Ethan Ampadu is in there to act as defence counsel, as the home supporters suggest it should be red. It is instead a yellow. Molumby's back on his feet, walking to the near side touchline.
Well, we haven't got a monitor, so we can't see a replay of exactly what happened, but I think the referee had a word with Firpo earlier as well, didn't he? So maybe with another so-called foul, there's going to be a bit of bother with a yellow card. Just got to be careful now, but got to get this side of the pitch sorted out. And we don't seem to be learning from what's gone on in the previous 40-odd minutes.
Molumby is back on, so no 30-second gap there. He's back on the pitch to take the free kick. How does that work? Bartley in the centre circle. Now Mowatt. 3 minutes to go in the first half, plus that little bit of time to be added on. Bartley again with the long ball. Furlong awaits. Keeps it in play with his head. Struijk. Gnonto underneath it. Molumby with an arm round his neck, and the referee sees it. And you'll hear the reaction of the Leeds fans to the award of the free kick in their favour.
Ironic cheers.
Struijk has come over to collect the ball. Short to Gruev. Struijk goes back to Meslier. And Meslier out to Rodon. And then he works it up to James. Bogle hesitated. James put it into an inviting area for either Piroe or Bogle.
I think that was the problem. It was either. It wasn't one or the other. Neither was sure if it was actually for them.
Leeds end up with a throw-in as the ball was cleared away. Bogle will take it. Walks a little way up that far touchline. Keeps working his way up it, heading towards the halfway line rapidly. Still going. Referee tells him to get on with it, so he does. Joseph delivers back to Bogle. Now Piroe opens up a little in front of Piroe. He can play the right ball. He gives it to Gnonto. Gnonto with Firpo out wide. Gives it to Firpo. Gnonto continues over his shoulder, but Firpo comes back to Struijk. Now Gruev into space, but not quite where Firpo wanted it. And it's cleared out quickly by Grant for a Leeds throw-in.
Well, that's the first time we've seen Firpo in that sort of area, haven't we? Just 5 yards outside the 18-yard box.
Joseph gives it to Gnonto. Knocked to the ground by Ajayi. Daft challenge by Ajayi. Gnonto waited for it basically there, and Ajayi duly provided. Just a nudge in the back. Leeds have a free kick, and this is as good an opportunity as Leeds have had for some time in this game to whip a ball into the middle and put some pressure on West Brom. There's a line of tall players in there.
There is. They're big boys, aren't they? They certainly. There's been a while since we've been up this end. Yes, we had 1 or 2 corner kicks, but this one almost level with the 18-yard box on this left-hand side, just 5 yards outside it. So Gruev with a left footer lined up along the about 7-8 yards out. There's 5 or 6 of the biggest West Brom players. Let's see what we can do.
Gruev awaits the signal. The referee gives it now. Left foot curled into the penalty area. Struijk! Oh! Header just wide, and it took a deflection on its way towards goal, and that means it's a corner kick, and Pascal Struijk a whisker away from an opening goal there.
Oh, I thought it was going in. I really did, because he gets on the end of a good Gruev ball, and it was down, and I think was going past the keeper, yet it just hits a West Brom player and takes it only a yard wide.
1 added minute, which I'm a little surprised by. We're in it. Gruev into the middle, headed clear as far as James. Takes it down, delivers it back to Gruev. Back to James. James curls a ball into the penalty area, headed away firmly, but only as far as Gnonto. Gnonto delivers a shot, but he's put it up and over the crossbar. Ampadu waiting in the middle. Says just drop it in there, but Gnonto went for glory, and it ends up as a goal kick.
Well, at least we put a bit of pressure, haven't we, on the West Brom defence. Had another good chance there from Struijk, who was unlucky not to hit the target, and then Gnonto worked himself half a second of time and a yard of space, but didn't make the most of it.
So the goal kick, when it's delivered, will take us up to the additional minute and a little beyond. I expect to hear that referee's whistle. There you go, bang on. And so, as the blast is long and loud, it tells us that half-time has arrived, and as the two sides head for the tunnel, it's goalless here, and really there's not an awful lot to reflect on in terms of chances created. Leeds' best moment coming right at the end of the half via that Pascal Struijk header towards goal from the corner.
Yes, but I think going to half-time at 0-0, I think we'll certainly take that. We want to improve, of course, playing through the midfield and up front, but there's no doubt that West Brom have been the slightly better side. They've had more possession, got into some better areas of the pitch, but you're right, Meslier really hasn't had too much to do. Let's hope we can just step up a little bit and go and grab all 3 points here.
Goalless at half-time. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 0. OK, we're ready for the start of the second half as Maja stands over the ball for West Bromwich Albion. Gets the second half underway. The liquidator drifts off to silence over the PA. And fans around the ground head back to their seats from half-time sustenance. Not an awful lot for them to have been talking about in terms of the game in that interval, frankly. But Leeds, if they want to be tight and secure, I guess that was a big part of their first half plan. Now maybe need to add a little more in this second half in terms of going forward, as Joseph gets fouled. And the foul is called, and he's on his back in the West Brom half. Helped to his feet by Gnonto.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if you look at us coming to this game today and think, OK, 0-0 at half-time, you'd probably be taking that, but I think it's very uninspirational, wasn't it? There wasn't too much certainly going forward. I hope we can build on that in this second half. Just looked a little nervy and maybe thinking about not making a mistake rather than doing the right thing, but this is better. Let's see. No, it's not.
Slick passing movement comes to an end with a little nudge from Gnonto on Furlong, who takes a quick free kick long and over the top, and it's picked up by Fellows on the edge of the Leeds penalty area, and he comes into the box on his right foot, still going parallel with the edge of the penalty area. Comes back out from Mowatt. Mowatt's pass intercept. Firpo's ball out of defence. Could have launched a counter-attack. Instead, Leeds are defending again as the ball comes into the area and it hits Bogle on the back and goes out for a corner.
just such a lackadaisical piece of play, wasn't it, where it looked like we could have cut it out on a couple of occasions. Never really got close to Fellows on this left-hand side, and then when it comes back to Firpo, I thought we could have been on the counter, but a poor ball gives it straight back to West Brom,
who have Swift to take the corner kick. So they change corner taker. And it is from Swift. Meslier punches two-handed to the edge of the box, and Mowatt on the half volley hits Ampadu. Comes down for Fellows. Leeds get out quickly, so the ball is delivered all the way back to Palmer on the edge of the West Brom box.
Great block, wasn't it, from Ampadu, and then goes to the next challenge as well.
That's exactly what you want to see from your captain. Mowatt. It's a refrain of marching on together, comes out of the away end. Leeds kicking towards it in this second half. Ampadu against Fellows. Fellows wriggles away from Bogle. And Piroe intercepts, but it comes for Heggem. Heggem gives it away. Now Piroe and now Joseph. Joseph showed too much of that one to Mowatt. And he got it taken off his toes as a result. It does come out for a Leeds throw-in.
All a bit frenetic again, isn't it, at the start of this second half? What we need is a bit of quality out there.
Bogle throws in to Joseph, gives it back to Bogle. Forced back into his own half. Rodon keeps it away from Maja. Goes with a pass to Piroe. Piroe held up, has to hold on to it here, loses out, and then fouls Mowatt in his frustration. And that will be a West Bromwich Albion free kick.
Oh, I was just about to say, don't lose it in that area. He took a touch, another touch, really got smothered out. At least West Brom didn't nick it, but we had to give a foul away instead.
Albion playing into the centre circle, where Gruev briefly intercepts before it comes back out for Fellows. Moving down the touchline, cuts back. And it comes back to the halfway line, and Mowatt is under pressure, so he goes back to Palmer, who's out the penalty area for West Brom. Alex Palmer's crossfield ball to Heggem, taken down on the chest. Roll back into Swift. Leeds are quicker in the press at the start of the second half, and it works well for them there. Piroe and Gruev. Now, good ball to Ampadu. Oh, Ampadu's touch is heavy, and he slides in and he gives away a free kick. And Joseph. And now suddenly it's West Brom moving at pace over the halfway line. It comes out to Fellows, who's on the edge of the box now. Puts it into the middle. Swift controls. Leeds trying to block. Still Swift. Tees the shot into the hands of Meslier from the edge of the penalty area by Molumby. Best opening of the game that for either team, and it turned into a simple save for the Leeds keeper.
Well, thankfully it was straight down Meslier's throat, but that all started from the edge of West Brom's box. Ampadu, little unfortunate, overran the ball, but from there West Brom was smart, weren't they? Quickly on the counter, and Swift, when he got the ball in the box, he set Rodon on his backside, beat him all ends up, still kept the ball, rolled it back, and fortunately the shot was straight down Meslier's throat.
Halfway line header. Joseph battles with Bartley. Firpo wins, loops it forward. Well, Piroe will chase, Heggem will get to it. It's a difficult back pass for the keeper. Palmer chests it and then volleys it forward. Comes back to Rodon on the halfway line. But more life about the game at the start of this second half. We've had 5 minutes already, still 0-0.
You're right, but more energy, more pace about it. So you just got to find that bit of quality in those difficult areas. That was a bad ball into James, just fired into him around the thigh height by Struijk.
And suddenly West Brom come again as a result of being given possession back. Down the right hand side with Grant. Comes in field, gives it back to Molumby, miscontrols Molumby. And comes for Bartley behind him. Ajayi up in the Leeds half by distance. Back to the halfway line to Molumby. Home fans in good voice. Mowatt. Back to Molumby. And he's going to go all the way back to Palmer. Bartley. Short ball to Swift. Mowatt back to Swift again. Back into the penalty area it goes to Palmer. Straight ball out to Molumby. Bartley. Swift. Leeds trying to press, but West Brom working it past them. Now Heggem. Into the middle. Maja lets it run, picked up by James. James moves the ball, and then the attempted ball to Gnonto is well read by Mowatt, and he blocks it off, and West Brom get the ball back again with Heggem now into Mowatt on the halfway line. Heggem back to Swift, who waits behind him.
Got to say, Mowatt's having a fine game, isn't he? There he just stops the ball going out to Gnonto from James, and really has been dictating play, nice and composed on the ball.
Ball up the touchline. Struijk has got to get in ahead of Grant. He does. And when he clicks it into touch, the touch is off Grant's toes. So Leeds get a throw in by the corner flag on their left-hand side.
Yeah, Cullen Grant's been lively. Starts kind of up front, then drifts off, goes out to the right-hand side. Good mobility, causing us one or two problems, but Struijk there does well, gets across and wins a throw-in.
Grant back at the club, having been on loan at Cardiff City last season. Struijk throw-in is onto a West Brom head. Rodon wins it in a crowd. Gnonto hemmed in, trying to get some space. There isn't much, so he goes back to Meslier instead. Leeds need to open up a little bit here to give themselves options down the right as well. Rodon. Struijk. Away support, doing their bit here. Loud and proud behind the goal to our right. Gnonto, poor ball. Firpo didn't get there. Passing just not quite at it at the moment.
Just a bit off, isn't it? And then it fortunately keeps breaking down. Very frustrating. And the press, and just inviting West Brom on.
Meslier slices. Can Bogle keep it in play? Yes, he can with a header. Drops though from Molumby. Given away to James. Now there's a chance. Oh no, same again. There was a chance for Leeds to get runners going forward there, and the pass was the wrong one. And West Brom handed possession back. The foul is committed, and West Brom have a free kick just inside the Leeds half.
Well, the boys out there now just need to stick together and keep going. I know they're getting frustrated. You can tell. And there was another good opportunity that once again fell in between two players, neither sure who's supposed to be taking the ball.
Mowatt back into his own half. Curls a long ball forward down the channel. It's going to bounce. I think, is it going to bounce out? Bogle lets it stay in, and then Meslier comes and picks it up. Good work done by Bogle there, applauded by Rodon. Meslier on the penalty spot, ball in hand. Long over the top. Piroe will chase. Takes it down nicely. Needs help. Arrives at the feet of Firpo off a West Brom player. Now Gnonto. Gnonto out wide to Firpo. It's all very tight again, so Leeds need to come out of that space and find a new one. Piroe back to Rodon. Struijk has Firpo to his left, gives it to him now. He can move it forward to Gnonto on the touchline. Gnonto trying to give it back to Firpo. It comes back to Gnonto anyway off the defender. Gnonto sets off and he's fouled. It's more like it.
Yeah.
Take a player on, win a free kick.
It's been a lot better. And Meslier started that really with a 70-yard raking pass to Piroe, who brought it down magnificently. You can see they're all thumbs up now to the keeper because he saw that was on. That's what we need. Need to be positive. We need to look forward. And then Gnonto, doing his bit, gets a free kick.
Which Gruev will take for Leeds United. Gnonto stands in close proximity, but now he's moving up towards the edge of the box, I think. And Gruev will drop it into the middle. Again, there's that wall of really tall West Brom players just in front of the 6-yard box. In it goes from Gruev. Drops onto the head of Ampadu, and it does loop goalwards, but it's an easy catch for the goalkeeper on his goal line. So Leeds retreat back to the halfway line. Palmer moves the ball up to the edge of the box and just drops it down in front of Bartley.
And Ampadu actually does well just to get a head on it. He was going away from goal. Never going to be a danger to the keeper. Didn't have enough power on it, but at least it brought something out the keeper at least.
Struijk defending for Leeds. Maja on his shoulder, so he goes back to Meslier. Now Rodon. Ampadu to Struijk. Pascal Struijk with a short pass to Gruev, back to Struijk. Got to go back to Meslier. You want to get it out of there. He does. Goes long with that one, Meslier. Joseph up against Bartley. Bartley much taller, gets the touch, but it's given away for Bogle. Picks it up and touch into Joseph now on the edge of the box. Whips his ball in. Oh, just evades the run into the penalty area of Bogle. Piroe got on the end of it, didn't direct it goalwards, but Bogle had continued his run round the corner and it didn't quite drop in front of him, right in front of goal.
Oh, so unfortunate, but really good play. I think Ajayi just about did enough to put off Piroe, but the ball in from Joseph was a good one.
Short goal kick taken by West Brom. They took a bit of a gamble there, but they got away with it. Heggem has it. On it goes to Fellows. Bogle's, well, he's tight to his back, and the referee's seen a free kick in there. Bogle protests his innocence. Minimal contact, I think. It's fair to say it's right in front of us. Free kick is taken and is moved out to the right hand for West Brom, where Grant has it, blocked by Gnonto, out for a throw-in. West Brom ball, Furlong. Goes back into his own half to Ajayi. And Ajayi then to Bartley. Returns the pass. Goes back to Palmer, Leeds pushing on. Piroe, Joseph, James. Keeper straight ball for Maja. Maja to Swift. Goes back to the edge of the area to Mowatt. James chases him down, so he goes back to Palmer. Palmer's chased down as well, and
excellent.
It's good work from Dan James, and he just gestures in the direction of the Leeds fans as he does it, say, come on, get behind us here. He's done his bit, chasing. Forced an error, Leeds have a throw-in, level with the edge of the West Brom box.
Great effort, great work. Work rate from Dan James, always unquestioned, and there, just his sheer desire to close down. We had the throw-in on the edge of their 18-yard box, and now Meslier's got it at the back of our last third. What's going on?
So it's on backwards from a position quite far forwards. And West Brom have won it back in their own half, and now they start to move into the Leeds half themselves with Swift out to this left side and Fellows ball on his right foot, second step over, chips it back in the middle, has to be headed clear by Rodon. Piroe blocked by the referee there. Mowatt picks the clearance up. Leeds bodies round the ball. James gives it to Piroe, really tight in there, and Piroe is lucky perhaps that the ball spins away from the penalty area and ends up on the edge of the West Brom box, in fact, where Palmer comes out, just pushes it forward to Bartley at the hour mark in this game, and it's West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 0.
Oh, and a short back pass as well, but keeper does well. But it does eventually get hoofed out, so this time of the game, nearly 60 minutes up. What can we do to change things? Who will do it first? Who will try and take the initiative? Managers, Corberan there, giving plenty of instruction, isn't he, out to his team?
He's a very animated coach, isn't he, Carlos Corberan? And his really tight drain pipe chinos. We used to do a lot of interviews with Carlos Corberan post the Elsa Leeds games. He was the designated member of the coaching staff to come out and do post-match interviews, so had a lot of interaction with him in the time that he was at Leeds, establishing his reputation, and here he is at West Brom, enhancing his reputation. Throw into West Bromwich Albion in the Leeds half. Good block off by Firpo. Very good work from Firpo there. Referee sees nothing wrong, just got in front of his man and stayed strong to keep Grant away from the ball, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, he read the danger well. Knew Grant wanted to run into the space, he just got there first. Good defending.
Struijk and Meslier delay the taking of the goal kick between them. Goes across the edge of the 6-yard box, back to Meslier. Just going to go ping it long. Joseph almost inevitably beaten in the air by Bartley. Back in the Leeds half, Maja And now Grant on the edge of the area. Cuts it back into the middle. Hits Rodon. Arms tightly behind his back. And now Gnonto, can he break forward for Leeds here? He's kept going. The ball was a long way ahead of him, but no West Brom man could get in on it. Leeds have it with Ampadu now. And now Gnonto, can he... needed the pass from Ampadu to be right in front of Gnonto, because he was running clear down the right side, but it was overhit, and he slides on that running track again, and it's a West Brom throw.
The overhit pass wasn't bad enough, the old slide and fall over on the track as well. Here we go.
Now it's Joseph into the penalty area. He's just shown too much of it. Ajayi shields him away from the ball. Turn was really good, but then the touch after that was a little heavy, and Palmer came out and gathered it.
Yeah, but I just like his ambition. Had to try something there, rather than just retain it and go backwards. Almost spun away from his man, but you're right, touch was a little heavy.
Mowatt. Been a better 10 minutes for Leeds, this.
It has been. It certainly has been, but their keeper, Alex Palmer, still not had too much to do.
Fantastic support coming from that away end. If it was worth the goal, Leeds would be in front. Free kick for a foul on Firpo. Got a whack there. And changes are going to be made now. Leeds are the first, with Rothwell to come on, and he will replace Joel Piroe.
I actually thought that might have been an option at the start of the game as well, just to mix things up, have a slightly different type of formation, because the 4-2-3-1 is what we kind of always play, but what else can we do? How can we change things just a little bit more? And actually another change here.
Well, here's a how, with James off and Aaronson on. So that's the second change for Leeds. So Aaronson, the man who scored last weekend, such an important goal, and then had the chance to win the game, didn't take that chance, is on the field for Leeds United. Gnonto and he have switched, so Aaronson on the left, Gnonto currently on the right.
Yeah, so Gnonto is always the one that has to kind of fill in either side, because certainly he can play either side. Aaronson certainly better that side, coming in, allowing Firpo then space on the outside as well, so a different type of attack. Now Rothwell playing further forward as well. We've seen him play deeper, but we do know he's a really good technician, quick feet. Can he supply things further up the pitch to the players around him and in front of him?
Rodon to Rothwell, first touches for him. Back to Rodon, caught in possession, so has to go back. Gruev helping out. Out to the left and Struijk. Back to Meslier, making Mowatt work hard in that midfield, chasing around to no great outcome. Rodon. Rothwell stretches, but he's lost the ball in the midfield. Molumby coming straight through the middle, plays it into Grant in the penalty area, and he blazes his shot wide from a really good position. Leeds caught cold and almost made to pay the price.
Well, the Rodon ball is not what you want, because Rodon's has sprinted out to this right-hand side and then cuts it back in the middle of the pitch. And Rothwell just a little on his heels. West Brom certainly weren't. They come in, nicked it away, and then when it was set up for Grant, he fluffed his lines, thankfully.
Meslier. Two best openings in this second half have both been for West Brom. Meslier from Rodon again. Now Gruev. Runners going, so he goes long. Bogle chases gamely, but he's not getting to it. Fellows will just let this run. Bogle does get a foot in, but only succeeds in enhancing what was always going to happen there. West Brom goal kick. And now has to get himself back into a defensive position.
Yeah, there you see West Brom's way of countering the long ball to the fullback. It's the winger that goes all the way back with him and defends, extremely well. We can't get in. Other way around, unfortunately, they've been getting in too easily. To be fair, in the second half, we have sorted that problem out, so we haven't kept seeing that. But somehow we need to show a bit of quality, a bit more quality in this last third.
Maja turns the ball out. Leeds throw. Put it through the legs of Aaronson, but straight out into the advertising hoardings on the far side. So the ball is in the hands of Firpo. Rothwell tried to lay it off for Aaronson. Firpo again, and Rothwell turns it around the corner to Aaronson. Now good ball in for Firpo, plays it into the penalty area. Looks to the heavens because he cut it back from the byline almost into the path of Joseph, but not quite. It was cleared out for a throw.
Well, it was such a quick break that we couldn't get Joseph back into the box, and he tried, so that the cutback had to be the one on, but Bartley read that one.
Aaronson held off the ball, cleared away by Grant. Rodon loops a header onto Gruev's head, and then he just nods into touch, and there's a little flare up in the midfield between Molumby and Gruev.
Well, Molumby just grabbed his shirt from behind.
It was pretty one-sided, to be fair. The referee steps in, saw it, has words with Molumby. West Brom will restart the game with this throw-in. West Brom have Diangana and Wallace both back fit again on the bench today. They didn't feature last week. See how fit they are, maybe in terms of they would be the obvious choices for changes for Carlos Corberán. Some inexperience. It was a very inexperienced bench they had at QPR last week.
Yeah, those two experienced attacking players as well. No doubt will be coming on to try and test us.
Last quarter of the game, 0-0 still. Leeds trying to get Joseph in down the left, but it's cut out. Molumby has it for West Brom, just on the edge of the box. Walks it forward. Square to Ajayi. Bartley. Kyle Bartley with a short ball to Mowatt. Mowatt long crossfield to Grant. Drops right in front of him. Cut out though when he passes forward by Firpo. Furlong it was rather than Grant. Grant came in to try and win the pass. Gruev with a header. Does well in midfield to Rothwell. Rothwell again looking for space. Gives it to Rodon. And then Rodon to Struijk. Big gap between that midfield and the attacking players at the moment, as Rothwell now goes to try and fill it. Ampadu to Gruev, gets it back. Goes back to Meslier under pressure from Maja. Struijk to Ampadu. Again, gets it on to Aaronson. Firpo, given away by Junior Firpo, right to the head of Bartley. Leeds got to defend, and they fouled. Ampadu commits the foul on Swift, midway inside the Leeds half. And again, you'd say the instigation for that came from misplaced ball.
And we've certainly played a few of those today, unfortunately, in those defensive areas where West Brom have just picked it up. Innocuous foul, but the foul it was by Ampadu. So free kick to West Brom. Another one that we need to defend against.
So it's pretty central. Too far out, you would think, for a shot. There's a one-man wall. Gnonto is it.
Someone needs to pick up either Furlong or Grant. And Aaronson's got two there, so he needs to shout. Get someone across. And there isn't. He's calling. He's calling. If Furlong just runs across, Grant is going to be in acres of space like there.
And it's exactly what's happened.
And
he can whip the ball into the middle. And it's headed goalwards by Bartley. It's headed over by the West Brom man at the far post. And it was an obvious ball. They took the obvious ball, whipped in from Grant, and it almost brought the first goal.
Well, you probably should have said they should have scored. I mean, that was 5-10 seconds I'm shouting that, and Aaronson has to just scream his lungs out to get someone across to help him. Once you see a mistake or an opening or something that needs sorting, get it sorted.
He's Aaronson chasing. Ajayi will get to that one before him. Palmer has made a right mess of that back pass. It's gone behind for a Leeds corner. Aaronson races over, thinks about taking it quickly. Well, Ajayi maybe didn't give him the best, put a bit of weight on the back pass, but Palmer then sliced it horribly. And Leeds end up with a corner.
And what we do know, Rothwell is over the ball, who has got an excellent delivery. I think, to be fair, to beat these West Brom defenders, it's going to have to be a pretty good delivery, isn't it?
Rothwell. In it curls.
Excellent.
Heads goalwards! Was Struijk's the last touch? Well, it may have been, but I think the referee has given a free kick in there anyway. And again, good delivery from Rothwell, and Struijk was in there. Wasn't far off, but I don't think it would have counted.
I think that was superb, really was. Although Struijk, just looking at him, I'm thinking he thinks he probably could have scored, so maybe he did give a goal kick in the end. However, the ball was so good, it was straight on the head, wasn't it, of Struijk, who just tried to guide it into the back post, bottom corner. Didn't miss by much.
Long ball forward from Palmer. Struijk battles with Maja, but unfairly, says the referee, as Maja goes to ground. And Struijk has words with the referee. It won't change anything. West Brom have a free kick, and it's a chance for them to put the ball back up to the edge or into that Leeds penalty area. Swift and Mowatt prepare to delegate as to which one of those two will take this free kick.
Where's Carlin Grant again? He's completely free. What is going on here?
Broken down the right of the box, and it breaks off the feet of Joseph and goes behind for a corner kick.
We're asleep. We really are asleep. You know, these things are so obvious out there, and it's very frustrating because you can see it happening time and time again, but no one's getting a grip of it out there, and it's just, okay, I've got my man, but you know, it's a team game. What do we need to do? Where's the gaps? What are the mistakes out there? Get it organised, and it's not happening.
So another set piece for Leeds to defend. Gnonto goes down and tumbles in the box under the challenge from somebody or other. The giant Ajayi stands over him. Bartley rather stands over him. Ajayi's in the far post. And the game will restart shortly with this delayed corner kick from Alex Mowatt.
Furlong is just pushing into Gnonto.
Curled in goalwards. Meslier, good fist to that. And there's a player down in the 6-yard box. There's a free kick given to Leeds United for a challenge in the midst of all of that. And Melier's really unhappy about something that's happened in there. He's gone to talk to the referee. And is that the challenge that has so angered him?
Ampadu, I think, is the one that is down. And whether it was like a push that the West Brom player did on Ampadu to push him straight into Meslier, whatever it is, it's the Welshman that's come off certainly worse.
Point out that we don't have the benefit of replays today, so if you are watching coverage of this game, you are in a slightly stronger position than we are on that basis. The West Brom players come to the near side to take on Liquid, and then a change is being made as well. So Grant, I think, is coming off, and Wallace is going to come on and replace him. And Wallace is a right winger, so there'll be more for Leeds to deal with down that side in the closing stages of this game.
Yeah, we know all about Jed Wallace, don't we? He's performed well against us before. Carlin Grant, actually, I thought did a decent job. Not an out-and-out right-sided player, but drifted in, drifted out, caused us 1 or 2 problems.
Some suggestion that Grant may be leaving shortly. His name has been amongst those being speculated about in terms of transfers. Wallace.
Do you think we're going to have much speculation in the next 2 weeks?
I suspect so.
Yeah? Yeah, I think so.
Have a lot of speculation in the next 2 hours, never mind the next 2 weeks.
I just want to know if you've got a release clause.
If I did, I'm revealing nothing at this stage.
Okay.
Keep my cards very close to my chest.
Okay. Right, we've got 15 minutes left here. Big 15 minutes. Keep it tight. I think a battling 0-0 wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You know what? A scrappy 1-0 win will be even better, wouldn't it?
Bamford is going to come on. Ampadu is okay, I think, but he clearly doesn't look happy with what's happened to him in there, as we saw from Melier's reaction. And now Ampadu, as he walks towards the near side touchline, where he, I assume, will be told he has to stay off for 30 seconds. Whereas Molumby seemed to pop up straight away to take a free kick after he'd been fouled and treated for injury in the first half. So let's see how the letter of the law is applied here. Meslier. headed into touch by Fellows. Ampadu not yet back on, so that confirms what we suspected was going to happen. He's been kept in the technical area. Bamford gets his final instructions before assume he'll come on for Joseph here.
Yes, you would assume that will be the case. I'm not sure we're going to just throw on a load of attackers.
Bogle, Mowatt puts it up in the air. Rodon header down. Mowatt delivers it high and long again. Struijk beaten to it by Jed Wallace. Meslier out the box, well, not quite out the box actually, to Rodon. Now Bogle can't keep it in play, let it roll across his body, giving himself too much to do. West Brom throw in the Leeds half.
Good closing down, good pressure from West Brom, but we're not dealing with that very well at all.
So Heggem has the ball, throws it back to Bartley. Still Bamford waits as Bartley has it back. Returns it to Ajayi. He goes long over the top, looking for the run down the right of Furlong. Takes it down really nicely. Tries to get inside. Firpo stood his ground well there. Good defending from Junior Firpo. As Furlong tried to give him the eyes there and just rolled the ball past him. I think he was going around the other side, but Firpo saw it, read it, stayed where he was and got a free kick.
Yeah, that ball again out to the right, Furlong. Having a bit of a field day on that right wing, gets it, but good defending because Furlong tried to be a bit too clever.
So changes made up top with 9 on, 19 off. Bamford goes into the centre of that Leeds attack.
Joseph found it hard today, didn't he? I think worked extremely hard a couple of times, held it up okay, but I think we needed to give him a lot more quality, a bit more service, but just didn't really get anything. And I suppose when we can't get it through midfield with any sort of quality, it's the guy up top that really suffers, and I think Joseph suffered from that today.
11 to go. West Brom throw. Back it goes to Ajayi. Now Bartley. Crossfield again, way over the head, this one of Fellows. Leeds United throw in. Jaden Bogle is preparing to take it. Down the line it goes. Headed in field by Heggem to Swift. Now Mowatt across the halfway line. There's a bit of space out wide for Furlong to push forward now. Checks back, gives it to Molumby. Into the centre circle to Mowatt. Mowatt drifts inside of Bamford and then pokes it to Heggem. Back in his own half is Bartley. Now Ajayi in the Leeds half. Molumby in the centre circle. Heggem. Push back to Mowatt. Mowatt will go all the way back to the keeper, Palmer. Short ball forward for him to Bartley to start it all again. Ajayi into his central defensive partner. Then the long diagonal from Bartley. Firpo with a looping header. Flicked on by Gruev. Headed out wide. Furlong will pick it up by the touchline. Comes back in for Mowatt in support. Mowatt with Gruev on his shoulder. Turns away from him, gives it back to Ajayi. Into Swift, back to Bartley in the centre circle. Short ball to Mowatt. He goes long with the diagonal. He's overhit that one as well. And again, Fellows makes a token effort at trying to get up to that in the air, but he was never going to get to that. And it goes sailing over his head now for a throw in.
He's done that before. It's about a minute previously in the game, so they can't quite find Fellows in this second half, which is good because first half I thought he played well. Gave Bogle a bit of a problem. He's very comfortable on the ball, but it's been too high for him now on a couple of occasions.
Bogle down the line, flicked on by Bamford, into touch from Bartley. Leeds throwing on the halfway line, so if nothing else, a little ground is gained. Ampadu wants to go long with it. Down the line, looking for Gnonto in here, and rugby union style, Leeds have gained a lot of ground down this near side. And Ampadu is going to come and take a long throw, almost level with the edge of the West Brom box. So, as we've seen from West Bromwich Albion, same side. Now Ampadu will attempt to replicate for Leeds United, and they've put everybody in there, so they obviously fancy the chances of him getting it into that penalty area. Ethan Ampadu, thumbs up from the skipper. Referee tells him to get on with it. In it goes from Ampadu, looping in, headed away to the edge of the area. Bartley delivered in by Gruev, and then Mowatt just puts his boot through it. And now the chase is on as Meslier comes out the area, bounced up, and he's just half volleyed it high into the afternoon sky, and then Bartley up in the air as well. And then it drops eventually to earth, and West Bromwich Albion come out with it. It's a little chuckle there, because as quality football goes.
This isn't it. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Bryn. We could do with a bit of quality, yeah. Put it this way, the pitch is looking really nice, and it might stay that way because the ball's in the air a bit. But no, can we find a bit of quality? Can we get some service and Rothwell get on the ball? Can Bamford get a chance? But just doesn't look like it at the moment. Really is scrappy and lacking in that quality.
Well, everybody's at it. Ajayi's just put one from his own half into touch in the Leeds half. And Firpo is awaiting the substitutions that West Bromwich Albion are about to make. Well, Diangana inevitably is coming on, the man who got the winning goal last season, and Dobbin, signed on loan as well, is the other change that they're going to make here. He's a winger, so presumably to replace Fellows. Bamford trying to play the ball through the middle for Gnonto. It swings out instead to the edge of the penalty area. Palmer's come out of the box to just clear forward. Glimpse of something promising for Leeds there, no more than that. Bogle goes back to Meslier, swipes through it, goes rather higher than it does distance, but Gnonto has it nevertheless. Gnonto back into Ampadu. Ampadu checks back when Bogle was going forward. Goes out to Struijk. Into Gruev, back to Struijk. And then back to Ampadu just outside the penalty area.
Well, Rothwell can't get a kick, Aaronson can't get a kick. It's just kind of... Here he goes, Aaronson at last on the ball.
He got a kick. Bamford tries to play it back to him, but Bartley will get there ahead of Aaronson, who chases. It's always going to be Palmer's ball. The goalkeeper plays it into touch. That's the head of Wallace over on that far side touchline, and another change coming from West Brom, and now it is Dobbin who is going to come on, and Swift who's going to come off.
Swift had a good first 45, didn't he, but faded in this second.
Second change is going to see Maja off and Diangana on. Maja, who had such a good weekend for West Brom, has found this a lot more difficult.
Which is nice to hear. So at the moment we have that clean sheet. Whatever happens, got to keep hold of that. At least that's a building block.
So the throw in for Leeds. Ampadu hurls it down that far touchline. Did it even go into play? Well, apparently it did, because it's been awarded to West Brom, so it bounced once and then went out. And West Brom have a throw-in instead, in their own half.
Wow. Okay. Come on, boys. Let's raise it a bit.
Bartley for West Bromwich Albion in his own half. Rolls it forward. Diangana back to Bartley. And now Mowatt. Mowatt pressurised by Rothwell. Goes back to Bartley. Heggem goes crossfield for Ajayi. Oh, he was closed down there. And he just worked it away from the oncoming Aaronson. It's actually turned into a good bit of play for West Brom. They're up in the Leeds half and they have a throw in.
And good chasing back from Aaronson there as well. He almost nicked it off Ajayi, who was fortunate to somehow come out of that unscathed.
And again, Bartley shows a bit of it to Rothwell. Can't quite get it off him. Fellows down the left side. Gnonto's taking it off him. He's under pressure. Gives it back to Bogle. Bogle trying to run into position and gives the ball away in trying to do so, and suddenly there's a gap over his shoulder, occupied as the ball comes into the middle, and Diangana meeting it there in the middle, got it all wrong from a good position, and it spun off his right boot and away from goal.
Well, that was an instep where it spun off of, and all you need to do is just, you're right, side foot it into the goal, but it was a poor effort. Thankfully, all started from Bogle coming inside and giving the ball away.
West Brom still pressing down their right. Molumby has it. Now Ajayi back to the edge of the centre circle. Bartley again touches a little heavy, but nobody close enough to take it off him. But Rothwell does get it off Ajayi, and then Aaronson comes in and he tries to win it for Leeds, and ultimately West Brom keep the ball just. And now they have it with Fellows on the wing. Fellows coming inside, skips inside a Gnonto. Ampadu, good block now. Can they get Gnonto going down the right here? Gnonto with a chase. Bartley's coming across. Can Gnonto get there? He can. Bartley stumbles, and in stumbling makes a successful challenge. And he implores the home supporters to make more noise, to recognise his defensive efforts there, Kyle Bartley.
Bartley has just got there, hasn't he?
Suddenly there's a ball over the top, and Meslier just lets it bounce up into his grasp on the edge of the penalty area.
Well, looked to be another half a chance, which we didn't quite take advantage of, but here comes Ampadu.
Ampadu leading the charge. Gnonto just about picks it up on the right side. Things slow down. He goes back to Rodon. I think Daniel Farke applauds that with 2 minutes to go here at the Hawthorns. Still 0-0. Ampadu to Struijk. Firpo infield, poor ball from Junior Firpo, given away to Molumby. Now Leeds have to defend the attack. Rodon stretches and makes an important block, and there's a bit of space for Gnonto. If he could get away, wriggle away from Heggem here, he's fouled. So he can't, but he does win Leeds a free kick. Rodon's pulled something. There's a problem here for Joe Rodon.
Hamstring, it looks like. Something's going on. He's slapped the back of his right thigh. Let's hope it's just cramp.
Stretched his leg out to make the interception, Joe Rodon. Indicated to the bench that he'd hurt himself. He's limping forward at the moment. Ampadu, well, gives it to Rodon. Late fitness test. Plays it square to Struijk. Back across Rodon to Ampadu. It's closed down, so he's going long. Over the top for Bogle to chase. And he's got in here, perhaps. Heggem. Whoa. What sort of challenge is that? Oh
it's
my God, how is that not a free kick?
What is going on?
Heggem was just charged into the back of Bogle, and the referee's allowed West Brom to come forward, and Wallace has runners to his right and left, plays it into Molumby, edge of the penalty area, and then it's helped on to Furlong, flick back into Molumby, crosses into the middle, Rodon with a header, helped out by Firpo, comes back for Molumby, and Wallace sets up into space. Firpo gets in it, and then Firpo's bundled over, and this time Leeds do get a free kick. How is that not a free kick to Leeds at the other end?
Really poor decision. There's absolutely no doubt that Heggem wasn't going for the ball, just takes out, unfortunately, Jaden Bogle, who was high up on the right wing. Should have been a free kick all day long. The board goes up, Bryn. How many minutes we got?
4 added minutes here at the Hawthorns, as Firpo picks himself up and walks away from the challenge. Leeds have the free kick, but they've been far happier with the free kick being awarded deep in the West Brom half for the Heggem challenge. It was a poor challenge, and it's brought some derision from those in the away end. In fact, the referee has been called out by both sets of supporters at the same time here.
That's when you know you're having a bad day.
Bamford breaks a little clear on the edge of the penalty area, needs the ball in, and he's put it into the near post, and it's straight into the hands of the keeper, Palmer.
Well, that was awful. I mean, it's great that he made the run into that channel, and you can see what he was trying to do, but the final pass was just not good enough.
Diangana, cut out by Struijk. Here's Bamford. Holds Molumby off and gets past him, and he's fouled. And Leeds have a free kick on the edge of the centre circle. And Patrick Bamford, a little high five with Ampadu. There's a yellow card shown
Molumby,
for Molumby to punish him for the challenge. Molumby is the latest man into the referee's book. And it will be Gruev to take the free kick for Leeds United. Gruev's left foot brought into service for Leeds here with this delivery. Players on the edge of the penalty area. Bamford just strays inside. Goes out to the left. Struijk is not getting to that one in the air. Furlong underneath it for West Brom. And he'll just marshal the ball out. It goes behind, and that'll be a goal kick. And we've had 2 of the added minutes already.
Well, 2 minutes left just to see it through, and you know, sometimes you can't play certainly at your best going forward, but they always say if you can just at least keep a clean sheet. It's away from home. It's at a place where we haven't done great the last season, so 2 minutes away from what could be a battling point, but concentration needed.
Bellows for West Brom in the Leeds half, skips away from Gnonto, edge of the area. Diangana goes down under Ampadu's challenge, and then the referee doesn't give the push by Ampadu, but does give the tackle by Diangana on Ampadu, and that will probably not endear Sam Allison to the home supporters.
No, but it always seems to be the retaliation that the referees see, and that's exactly what happened there. Diangana on Ampadu.
Diakite is coming on for West Brom, and Molumby is coming off. So Diakite, the defensive midfielder who's arrived from Parkburg, is probably the last change you would imagine here for West Brom in the closing seconds of this game. He's gone straight in to sit, presumably just in front of that back line. Free kick, Meslier. It's going to go out of play. It was almost obvious from the moment it left his boot that was going straight into touch. And it's a West Brom throw. And Tony's head hits the desk in front of him.
I'm speechless.
Throw in West Bromwich Albion, and it's going to be Heggem who takes it. Diakite's flick on. Bogle up in the air. Push on Aaronson, surely, but nothing given. Aaronson underneath it. Another push on Aaronson, but nothing given. And then a foul is given against Gruev. The challenge on Diangana. Well, we're past the added 4-minute mark now. And West Brom in possession in the Leeds half. Mowatt. Diakite. Mowatt steps into the back line. Bartley has it. And that's it. The referee brings an end to proceedings here. So a game of few chances, but it's been a battling performance from Leeds United, and it's earned them the first away point of this championship season. And on that basis, the Leeds players will have some reason for satisfaction that their efforts have brought a positive outcome. And if you want to look at it in a slightly different way at this stage of the season, last season, well, Leeds are already a point better off. 2 draws in the opening 2 games. It's finished here at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 0.
Yes, unbeaten home and away, but still plenty to do, isn't there? Let's be honest. I think that was a real battling performance. Great attitude, certainly organisation from the boys defensively, but I think left a bit to be desired, certainly going forward. They know that they can improve on that, but I think after what happened in this last week or so, coming here, showing that determination, and we know the players that we have unfortunately had to sell, they somehow certainly need replacing, because that invention wasn't quite there today. But what we have got certainly is plenty of spirit. So 0-0, we take that and we move on.
And after a week in which Leeds United had conceded 6 goals in their 2 games, a clean sheet will feel very, very welcome indeed.
Yeah, well, it really is important that you build your results home and away on the ability to see things out when they get tough, not concede goals, and that's exactly what we saw today. Great round of applause, well, from the fans. Players are going over. It's been a difficult few days, but some good appreciation on both sides there.
Yeah, players as a group go towards the supporters, and Daniel Farke joins them, and there's a little added significance because it has been one of the trickier periods in Daniel Farke's management period at Leeds United thus far, undoubtedly. And the players have dug in today, and they've come away with a point. And as the weeks go by, that point may take on greater significance. The Hawthorns, a tough place to come and get something, and Leeds have at least done that much. The full-time scoreline here, it's finished. West Bromwich Albion 0, Leeds United 0.